Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, Raid have just announced they're doing something they've never done before for Cyber Monday. I don't know how I feel about it actually. I feel like it's definitely the right direction. You know, I feel like there's been a lot of hate in comments over the last couple of weeks. And honestly, I don't think anything could happen that wouldn't force those people to feel bad right now. So I feel like, you know, we kind of need to pull ourselves out of this everything's bad kind of mentality for those people that are in there. You know, maybe those people need to take a bit of a break, honestly, or you know, maybe they just don't enjoy the game anymore. Like that's a fact, because you know, if we get new content, it's deemed as bad, but yet we're asking for new content. You know, if we get different events coming in, they're deemed as bad. Like I get a load of stuff needs to improve, and I'm on that kind of bandwagon as well. But when we do start to see some improvements coming through, then we also have to acknowledge, like, okay, this is what we're actually asking for. So it needs to be a bit of give and take, I think. Otherwise, you end up spiraling into this kind of like, yeah, poor mentality, honestly. But tomorrow, for Cyber Monday, there is going to be a 2x chance to get mythical champions from Primal Shards. So this is the first time they've ever done it. It's what we've been asking for. You know, when they increase the odds of a mythical from a primal, it should, or when they increase the odds from a primal, it should affect mythicals as well. They're doing it. They're probably just kind of like testing out to see if people pull shards. Doesn't mean I'm going to start buying mythical packs, by the way, primal packs. I think they're still kind of grossly overpriced, honestly. But I have saved 19 since primals came out. I don't think I've ever pulled one. I might have pulled one when they first came out, but otherwise I've just been like earning them through events and stuff. You know, different stuff in the game, basically. The odd Hydra chest, dropping some of this quartz. And that's about it. So yeah, I've got 19. I'm going to pull those tomorrow for the 2x, but you might decide that you still want to save them for, you know, for more mythicals in the pool, honestly, because I'm going to go through now the different mythicals that we've got and give you a bit of a feel for what there is. Obviously, mythicals are still super early game, or early into the game, I would say. So if you are someone who's like early to mid game and you pick up a mythical champion with these double forms, then yeah, it's probably going to be a game changer for you. But I don't see many of them really affecting like later game stuff yet. It's almost the equivalent, I'd say, of getting 2 legendaries and then choosing which one you want to play with, than one legend or one like extreme champion that does tons. That's the way I see these. So let's have a look through the ones we've got in game so far. Sigun is a great support, I would say. His passive is actually what makes him brilliant. So his ability to, if this champion's about to be killed, puts block damage on him, then heals and automatically fills turn meter. So you can kind of like morph through this. Like, so whenever he's the last living ally, or sorry, whenever everyone else on your team is dead, he does this automatic metamorph into basically a reviver. Yeah, and you can pick up the whole team and give them a good amount of health and turn meter. So this is one of my favorite versions of the mythicals. It's like, you know what, I've got a form where I'm just kind of alongside you guys, but there's a moment in time where my mythical activates and I metamorph into something which makes complete sense with that given situation. Yeah, so it kind of like both of his roles just make some sense. Yeah, so I do like this one. I think he's pretty good. If you picked him up, he would be a decent addition to your team. Yeah, and I don't see him as like an end game unit or anything like that, but pretty cool. Damn, I thought most factions had one by now. This one I'd say is the best mythical champion you could pick up right now. He's an absolute nuke in his second form. So when he goes into this mode, he's one of the hardest hitting, best damage dealers in the game. What's quite cool is, even as a support, all of his skills are based on attack. He's got a nice kind of like support kit with turn meter feel, good buffs for your team. He's got a couple of AoEs in this form as well. He's got nice kind of like Hydra style debuffs and buffs for your team as well. And when he flips, he becomes Nuketown with a very cool passive. So at the start of this champion's turn, he gives himself the damage. Increases the cooldowns of enemy skills by 2 turns whenever he kills someone, and he should kill people That's basically like giving you a full nuke. And then, by the way, there's the Warlord Lockout as well. It's an extremely cool skill. If this champion kills 2 or more, then it can't be resisted. So you don't even need accuracy to just go full whammy, full damage with this dude, which is very cool. Again, like both of his forms have got relevant skills. He's got a nuke on his A3. He's got an AoE big hit on his A2 as well. So yeah, this one for me is probably the best one that you could pull if you're going to pull shards in this sort of period tomorrow. So Mesal, I'd say, is probably the weakest of the mythicals for me. Got a decent base kit for Arena, decent base kit for like Doom Tower Wave. I guess wave-based content, but not really doing too much in terms of, you know, like PvE stuff, I think, unless it is literally just waves of enemies. So yeah, for me, this is probably the one I would least want to pull. We've got Daryl here. Daryl is a good damage dealer in the alternate form, so definitely someone you could pick up and do some work with. Looks pretty sweet as well, this one, actually. I like this a lot. Yeah, got some good AoE damage, ignoring defense as well, which is always nice from your nuker. So this is a fun one to pick up for sure if you just want to kind of have some fun smashing stuff up. Nothing yet in Demon Spawn, nothing yet in Undead. Dark Elves, this is one of the newer ones. Aidus the Hive Lord. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So yeah, the base form I think is actually really strong here. Really good, like all-rounder champion. When you flip to the alternate bug, for me, this one doesn't really have a lot going for it. So it's got a nice passive. When attacked, good chance of placing weaken and giving a stun. Also building this champion's defense is quite nice. So all of his secondary kit here is defense based. I guess you've got some decent buffs here for something like Clan Boss, for example, strength and increased defense. But none of the rest of the kit is really doing it for you. But yeah, base form is solid. So you've got Perfect Veil, you've got AoE Smack on the A2, you've got a nice Activate Burn mechanic on the A3. And if there's no burns out there, then he puts burns out there. So anyone who's doing burn activation, it's just like God tier really for late game PvE content, for speed running any of like the hard dungeons or the high level dungeons. A lot of the Doom Tower bosses, this is good. Hydra, this is good. So definitely got some funky stuff going on here. Base form actually really solid. What else have we got here? So Crix here, again, one of the newer ones. Hold my face, she says. It's actually the design of this champion. Damn. Those hands coming up. It's creepy as hell, but pretty damn cool. And we know that Raid do the best shields in the business. Definitely, like at Fateless, when we talk art, we're like, if there's anyone who we know does good shields, it is Raid Shadow Legends, honestly. And then we get this alternate form with the kind of like fiery hair, winged look. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like the visual in this one's one of my faves actually for the mythicals. So yeah, so for me, the Night Queen Crix here. So the alternate form is where this champion really brings the most value. Crazy base speed, by the way, 110. But we've got here double hit at A1, chance to reduce the duration of debuffs on an ally. We've got AoE block debuffs and give your team a increased resistance. So 2 really nice buffs for your team whilst doing an AoE hit. Plus a turn meter fill as well. So this is going to be great for Hydra. Great for really any content. There's no content where a 2-turn block debuffs is not brilliant. Like in this game, there's very little places where this is not amazing, especially on a 3-turn. Plus with the turn meter fill, it's just such a good skill. You got a full cleanse on the A3 on a 5-turn, and decreases the cooldown of an ally's skills as well. So, you know, just like pumping out. This is a nice ability as well. Just like pumping out additional cool abilities from your team. And then a passive here, immune to sleep, is kind of like whatever really. But the increased speed by 1 for every 10 resistance is very cool. It makes her one of the potential fastest champions in the game to then do her turn meter fill. So you can get this out really successfully, and then you give yourself a really good setup in stuff like Arena as well. So yeah, I think Crixie is one of the better mythical champions in the game so far as well. We've got the Dwarf here. I think the Dwarf's lacking. He's got 2 tank modes. He was kind of fun. He's fun. Like the mythical champions are fun to play with, right? So he's got some fun mechanics. He can do a bit of damage, mainly Arena kind of focused stuff. But I think for a mythical, he'd be the one of the ones I'd least want to pick up, honestly. Lady Mikage, obviously, is the one that you confuse. So no one's really going to want to pick her up unless you are literally going for awakenings and stuff. But she is one of the better mythical champions in the game so far. Looks damn sweet again. Yeah, really good like clan boss mechanics. Just generally very, very solid. She's got the ally attack as well. But yeah, so this is one of the better champions. But obviously we can eventually fuse her. So probably one of the ones you'd least want to pick up just because of that. And then I think that is one more. Yeah, Arbutus. So the last one here, Arbutus, again, one of the better ones. Probably a top 3 mythical so far. Both forms are good. Okay, so both forms, you've got a lot going on. You've got block active steals here, which is okay. Revive on death for your team for a 2-turn. Books to a 3-turn cooldown whilst doing a full cleanse, whilst increasing other buff duration. That's always a really nice skill, by the way. Got turn me to fill, a big one, giving your team all of the buffs to be successful somewhere like Arena, or if you want to push some damage. So this first form's really, really good. Nice passive as well. And then in the alternate form here, comes into like she's basically become the crow from Game of Thrones, right? She's living in the tree. Love it. Good base stats, all that type of stuff. Yeah, again, very good. Probably better in the alternate form even than in the main form. So she's got turn me to drop on her A1, AoE, leech, and burn on the A2. That's just good in all content, really. She's got heals. She's got taunt. She's got stone skin for your team, or for her, sorry. And then, yeah, and then her passive in this one, when attacked, puts decreased speed on the attacker for 2 turns. Crazy good against loads of bosses, this is. Really, really nice. Also decreases the damage taken by allies from skills by 20%. She takes that damage instead, so you build her as a tank in this form. So, I mean, that's all the mythicals that you could get. I guess let me know, are you interested in pulling for this? As it stands right now, this is, I guess, prime time, really, for this to pop up. As it stands right now, we've been seeing the primals reduced to about £5 a pop, okay? So this deal, the big special offer that's just popped here, is probably really, because these are on average are, what, 15? So maybe this is actually, for raid standards, a better deal, but it's still an awful lot. It's an awful lot. I don't know how I feel. I'm still not in a place in my head that I want to buy primals, honestly. Like, I can't get it into my head that it's become the right thing to do, because even tomorrow, so we're going to have a 1% chance of getting a mythical, a 1% chance of getting a legendary, 16% chance of getting an epic, and 82% chance of getting a rare. So it's still, you know, buying them for $5 or whatever, it's just still way over what I feel like they're worth. If they were the same price as Voids, I could get more on board. But at the price right now, you know, I'm just not on board with it. So, but I'm happy to collect them up, and if I pull a mythical champion, you know, I can have some fun with that. So I'm not against the idea of mythicals, and now they've started to release some better ones. It's more interesting, but definitely don't feel like the price points are where they should be at the moment for me. Anyway, let me know what you think. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.